Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the process of obtaining your master's in the US, from application to the post-admission process. But before that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Arzu and I'm from India. I completed my undergraduate studies from Mumbai and soon after decided to pursue my master's from the US. I highly recommend you watch this video as it will give you a detailed insight into what master's in the US looks like, and also it will save you a lot of time doing your personal research. Now, you're probably thinking about your master's, but why? Maybe you completed your undergraduate studies and are seeking to pursue higher studies for exposure just like me. Or maybe you've been working a couple years and are seeking a career change. Perhaps you want a lifestyle change, make more money, achieve greater things in life, or break barriers that you have set for yourself or your family has set for you and just get past it. People often want to do their masters for research. It's not just work, right? They want to research with the top minds in the world, like people from Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and other top universities here in the US. There's no doubt about it that US has one of the best educations in the world. There have been so many people that have gotten out of such great universities. So why shouldn't you choose the best for yourself? Let's talk about consultancies in general. Before we get deeper, I would like to say that I visited a consultancy back in India and they helped me with my letters of recommendation, statements of purpose, shortlisting universities, resume building, visa, and so much more. I suggest you take a pen and paper and write a little about yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, what you have done up until now academically and even outside of academics, and what can you do to improve your profile. Remember this. US admissions look at you as a person and not just your experience and qualifications. They ask you for your SOP, GRE, GMAT scores, and internships or experience is a plus to boost your profile. And we'll talk a little about this in the next step. Here's a rubric that I created that might help you sort yourself out in terms of applications. This is what US admissions is taking into factor. Remember, this is just a template that I use to help myself. You can customize it as per what you feel are the important elements. As far as examinations, you might have to take the GRE, which is Graduate Record Examinations, or you might have to take the GMAT, which is for MBA and economic courses. GRE, GMAT both have English and math. GRE is out of a score of 340, whereas GMAT is out of a score of 800. A lot of universities today have waived off the requirement for GRE and GMAT, so make sure you check with your university and the program requirements whether they require these examinations or not. You also have to take TOEFL, which is the test of English as a foreign language. Shortlisting universities. This is often recognized as the most difficult part in the admission process. This is all about chances. You must complete this step before you take your GRE and GMAT examination because there is always a 50, 60 or 70% chance of getting into university. There is never 100% chance, so you might always want to have a backup. Everyone has a purpose in life. What is your purpose in life? This brings us to our next point, statement of purpose. This is a very underrated point as people often forget it or skip it. I know for a fact that consultancies help you with writing your statement of purpose, whether you do not know how to write it or simply don't have enough time. SOPs are very tricky to write. Oftentimes, people just duplicate their CVs and convert them into an essay, but trust me, that's not the way to go about doing it. You have to create a story showing the admissions board of your desired university. What is your background? Why is there an urge to study that program in the particular university? What is your purpose? What is your problem and your proposed solution? You also have to have a very, very strong storyline. When I applied to Clark, I knew that their Masters in Marketing Analytics program was one of the best and newest programs. I have always tried to excel in my academics and my extracurricular activities. The reason I chose Clark amongst my other admits was because of the excellency, diversity, and inclusion. Upon thorough research about Clark University, I found out they also have an AACSB accreditation. Now that you've figured out all of this, let's move to our next step. This should be very easy compared to everything we've discussed. You have to fill out your details A to Z on the university's form, whether it's your grades, background, experience, address, or passport details. Then again, it's the difficult part waiting. You might have to wait anytime between 1 to 3 months to obtain a decision on your application. The reason being, some universities have rolling admissions, which means when they receive your application, they review it and they send you an instant decision on your application. While there are others that follow a strict deadline, which means they only release the decision of your application towards the deadline. Once you have gotten the offer letter from your desired university and have decided to go to the university, you have to get the I-20. The I-20 is a document saying which university you are going to, your fees, your course category, and name and such details. You can obtain your I-20 by submitting your funding documents to the university. You have to show the university that you have the ability to fund your education. Once you obtain your I-20, you have to apply for your visa. In this case, you will be applying for your F1 visa. In order to get your F1 visa, you have to fill out a DS-160 form. After you apply for your visa, it gets a little tricky. I hated applying for mine. The reason being, after 4 to 6 months of rigorous hard work, the fate of your decision lies in the US Embassy's hands. Remember this. During a visa interview, you have to show the officer that you are not going to pursue any part-time opportunities alongside your graduate studies. In fact, you have to show that you will complete your studies, and if your course is STEM OPT, then use those 2 to 3 years of experience and then return back to your home country. We have now reached the end of the video, and this is what your application and post-application journey looks like. I'll be honest, it's pretty awesome when you get through all these steps. When you fly out, it's surreal and you have mixed emotions. On one side, you are excited to learn what your future has in store for you, but then there are also those teary-eyed family members of yours at the airport wishing you didn't go. Thank you so much for watching. This is my first YouTube video, so please show some love by liking, subscribing, and commenting if this was useful to you. I'll see you in the next one.